Well,
Yeah, when he was put into the Shue, which is basically the solitary confinement, there are certain procedures that have to go into place before that happens. You get a right to a hearing within X amount of days. You can only be down there so long without a hearing and that kind of thing. None of that was followed, and none of the justification really added up when I looked into that. Again, that is a subject of a lawsuit right now. But really, the point of the lawsuit is just to enable legal communications. That's all we want to do is present this tampering evidence to the world. I mean, it's true, it's accurate. If it happened to him, it can happen to anyone. And it seems like there are actors, every step of the way, somebody's trying to make it difficult. It seems.
Well, that would be the cheapest, easiest route to successful prosecutions I could think of, is being able to go into somebody's house with a warrant, grab a hard drive, and tamper with it. I can't think of anything, and it would be absolutely guaranteed. Your local FBI office could put out a press release. Nobody is coming to your defense.
We learned a lot from the KGB and the Soviets, dude. This is something that the Soviets did all the time.
Correct.
They would come in, they would take you, they would steal you away from your family, they would plant
But
evidence.
that doesn't happen in America.
No, never would happen in America. No. As a matter of fact, Hannah Arendt writes in her book, The Origins of Totalitarianism, that what we're seeing is one of the signs of a tyranny coming to existence, which is the end of the nation state and the end of what was it? It was the end of the nation state and the end of the rights of man. That chapter there alone was kind of investigating what happens when we go through this tyrannical overthrow of our system, is that we slowly erode the rights of man within the nation state, and then you erode the nation state, right? So then no one has the ability to protect and defend themselves against the state.
Right.
So yeah, sorry. That's
no.
one of
I think this is
you're
reading. Correct. That's what it's a stake here.
Yeah. My reading is really centered around like communist era Soviet history, how to observe society and to be aware when it becomes tyrannical. So a lot of my reading material is centered around being able to identify when a tyranny is actually happening, and to be able to identify it and to call it out for where it is. And so that's why when I add these tidbits of information, which I'm able to since I'm not at work, because I'm limited by the amount of stuff I can talk about while I'm at work, which is I'm kind of glad I got COVID. But that's the center of my reading material. I mean, that's the majority of my reading material is centered around being able to understand the psychology of how tyranny happens and to understand the slave mentality that allows it to happen, and also seeing the signs and symptoms. So when I pipe up, I apologize. That's the position that I'm coming at and trying to understand what's happening so that I can identify it on my own scale of understanding.
I'm not sure, but I think when you have COVID, the current socially correct thing to say is, I have COVID, so I'm thankful for being vaccinated and boosted.
Well,
yeah, I have neither of those.
If you're a good person, that's what you would say.
If you're a good person, you get the vaccine and then the COVID, and then you're thankful.
Yeah, I'm not a very good.
I don't want to go there. This is just an
this podcast brought to you by Pfizer and Moderna.
Sorry,